What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny 2. In the last episode, we had a little tour around the tower, and in this episode, well, it is Monday, and I had to make some sacrifices. I got rid of that pulse rifle that we acquired in the last episode, as well as that hand cannon, and I'm settling for the Traveler's Chosen. Nah, just kidding. We're actually going to get the new frickin' hand cannon that he's selling right now because I have enough shards to get it. Give me Crimson. Alright, so we're going to get to use this in this episode, which means I'm going to have to equip you. And, ooh, we're going to be running double hand cannons? Well, this is going to be fun. Alright, I can't wait to do this. Alright, everybody, welcome to the EDZ. Before we go any further, I'm going to show you exactly how Crimson works, because this is a very interesting hand cannon in that it fires a 3-round burst. You're like, what? A 3-round burst hand cannon? Well, why isn't it just a pulse rifle? Well, that's a good question. This is basically completely emulating Red Death from Destiny 1, except in hand cannon form. Why it's a hand cannon, I don't know. However, it's still a pretty good weapon because it has the exact same perk that Red Death had, which means that it heals the wielder. However, precision kills also replenish the magazine. So as long as you are chaining precision kills, you should almost never have to reload this thing. It's actually a very good hand cannon as a result. Now, it did not start out good. It wasn't always good, but it definitely became good. Oh, hello there. So I actually decided against the whole double hand cannon thing because I realized that that was a stupid thing to do. But the fact that you can just constantly heal yourself with this thing is kind of amazing. Now, I believe, and I'm not entirely positive, I believe I do need to actually go have a talk with Devram K. So let's see if I can kill this thing. There we go, and that reloads the magazine. Alright, so yeah, pretty darn good weapon. It's incredibly stable, and its catalyst basically maxes out its stability, maxes out its range so it can hit at ridiculous distances. Not to mention, it does have a pretty darn cool ornament. So yeah, this is just an all-around awesome weapon.
I expect Hawthorne's already razzed you about being the hero of the day. She made me damn proud back there. That shot to save Zavala. Couldn't have done it better myself. Fighting shoulder to shoulder with Guardians to take back our home. Well, that's what I call historic. But then, time marches on. It's a brave new world out there, and we'll meet it together.
Indeed we will, Devram. Indeed we will. So, with that, you're going to want to make sure you actually talk to every single one of those guys on every planet. So you're going to want to talk to Sloan, you want to talk to Failsafe, and the like, all of those things. Now, we have some adventures to take care of in this episode, so we're going to start by going and taking care of anti-air over here in Firebase Hades. Okay, really quick, I should mention, I did go back to the tower because after completing the campaign, this season's rewards that are usually given out by tests every single time a season rolls over, which is a, it's actually kind of hard to explain. Seasons are basically just periods of the game's life cycle where different types of microtransactions are available. It's really dumb, I know, but with every single season that rolls over, she gives you a free thing, and with this free thing, I got this sparrow, which is an exotic sparrow. And I have to admit, I am really damn lucky because in all my time playing Destiny 2 on my main account, I have never actually gotten this sparrow. So, guess that was pretty cool. Why did it go after... Okay, it went after my sparrow instead of after the cabal, which is really weird. Anyway, let's start this adventure up.
Welcome back to Firebase Hades. Fun never stops, does it? Luckily, they're off their game. Red Legion's still reeling from you taking out Thumos, so we've stepped up our air raids.
And in turn, they've stepped up their defenses at the base. Some kind of anti-aircraft fire. Think you could find out more? Absolutely.
Okay, what I don't understand about that line that she just said, so she said they're still reeling after taking out Thumos, except she's supposed to say they're still reeling after taking out Gaul. Now, the reason I'm even more confused is because I actually tried to do this adventure earlier on after killing Thumos, but not Gaul, and that's the line she used. Like, what? I'm sorry, what? I don't know, whatever. This is supposed to be after the campaign anyway, so it doesn't matter. Blow them all up. Oh, that's the thing I just got on the comms. Well, then. I should probably talk about this here in a second.
They've installed anti-aircraft turrets all over the base.
With how paranoid you've made the Legion, I'm betting they're pretty well guarded.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so we need to search the firebase, but I should probably mention this thing really quickly here. So, On the comms, this is actually a quest that has something to do with the raid. Now, we're not going to be covering the raid, unfortunately, but by killing Red Legion, I should be able to fill this up eventually and then use this to complete the raid and get an exotic known as Legend of Acreus. It is a shotgun that has stupidly ridiculous range and spread, and yet does crap tons of damage, and it's basically like the most overpowered shotgun in the entire game. It's amazing. You want to have it if you're interested in doing the raid. However, like I said, I'm not going to be covering the raid. Now let's talk about the raid for a minute. What is the raid? Well, do you remember the mission, the invitation from the Emperor on Nessus that we did just a few episodes before jumping back into the story? Or I think it was the episode before we jump back into the story. Well, in that mission, there was a Cabal Emperor that was giving an invitation to one of the members of the Red Legion. And, you know, I probably should join in this, but I don't really want to. It was giving invitations to Cabal to join, from the Red Legion, to join with the Emperor for a life of opulence. Well, let's explain the raid for a minute. The raid takes place on what is known as the Leviathan. It is a giant fish-looking ship that eats worlds. And that is the point of what's happening in the invitation from the Emperor. It is literally looking to... Wait, am I supposed to... Hold on. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm supposed to go in this thing. I'm so dumb. So anyways, yeah, the point of it is to... The ship is going to consume Nessus and use it to make, well, royal wine and all sorts of delicious Cabal dishes. Now, that sounds really weird, right? Why opulence? Why is it not just looking to destroy? Why does it want Cabal wine, for crying out loud? Well, the thing about the Emperor Callus, is that Emperor Callus was actually exiled by the Red Legion when Gaul took over. And so we're going to have a lot to kill, and I'm just going to talk over the dialogue because, well, this is more important to me. So,
This seems familiar. But look out.
Emperor Callus used to be in charge of all of the Cabal. He was basically given an honorable exile by the Red Legion because he was actually such an amazing emperor. But the Red Legion and Gaul took over basically by force because they had better plans, or at least what they thought were better plans and objectives that they wanted to have completed instead. So, Callus stood in their way. They exiled him on the Leviathan ship and basically sent him to roam in space forever. Well, now that Gaul's been defeated, the Cabal are leaderless. Except they're totally not, because the second that Gaul goes down, obviously Callus is going to swoop right back in and take it all. Now, the thing about Callus that you need to know is that he's not inherently a bad guy. Now, we don't know this by going into the raid, but I mean, the raid's been out for a while, so this isn't really even spoilers at this point. But Callus is not inherently a bad guy. Callus just has a means to an end. Now, the Leviathan raid is very different from other raids because it's not about killing Callus. It's not about taking him down. If anything, it's actually about...
We're almost there, but everything's locked down.
It's the entire point of it is actually a test.
Great, huh?
Callus will, in that raid, in the Leviathan raid, test us to see if we are worthy to join his royal army. And as such, he will have use for us at a later point. Callus is, in a way, sort of an ally, but we're not entirely sure about that. What we do know is that he is, well, incredibly powerful. The final boss of the raid actually does have you going up against Callus. But the funny thing about that is, it's a robotic version of him, of which there are, like, hundreds. Literally hundreds. Hundreds of these final boss level Calluses that he can just send out to try to dispose of you. Callus is all powerful. He's ridiculously strong. And, I mean, to a point where it's kind of... They kind of make the point that you really just don't even have a chance against the guy. He's on a level that we can't even comprehend. But for the most part, he is at least, you know, he considered us worthy once we finish the raid. And as a result, he doesn't want to get rid of us. He doesn't want to kill us. He actually considers us somewhat on his side. So, yeah, it's very interesting. But he's been actually doing this for all races around the galaxy, not just Guardians. He, in fact, has fallen members of his royal crew. He has, well, I can't really think of... I mean, there's other Guardians that have also been reportedly joining his crew and whatnot. Like, he's a more complex character, I suppose. He's actually very well fleshed out for that reason. He's, for the most part a good guy. A lot of the Cabal liked him because, well, he was just kind of a good dude. He wasn't out to make war like Gaul was. He was out to just to search for the best interests for the Cabal, just to make them a better race. And if that involved whether it involved warring with other races or whether it involved making friends with them, it didn't really matter. It was just a means to an end. He was just a very good leader in all aspects. And yeah, I think that's what makes him a very interesting and complex character. This is really hard to do with this frickin' auto rifle, which is my longer range weapon. So yeah, I like Callus. What I do not like is the Leviathan raid, and that is part of the reason we're not going to cover it. The other reason is, well, for the same reason I didn't cover any of the raids in Destiny 1. I just don't have the means to do it. I don't have the people to do it, and so I can't cover those. But I freaking hate the Leviathan raid. I absolutely despise its structure. It's not fun to me. It's very tedious, boring, and there's so many aspects of it I do not like. This also applies to the raid layers. I'm just not a fan of the raids in Destiny 2. I think they're absolutely terrible in comparison to the raids in Destiny 1, although that's not entirely true. I would say, I don't know, I would put Leviathan on the same level of Wrath of the Machine, which was my least favorite Destiny 1 raid. So, still not a fan of it. Can I hit this thing from here? I want to see if I can. Oh, it's so hard to do. This is too far away. We need to move closer. We will. But let me get to another console and open this one up as well. While we're at it. Can I get this thing from here? It's so impossible. I don't have any long-range weapons, and it's kind of driving me nuts right now. Alright, sir. I need you to not... I need to suck myself towards you by meleeing you over and over. You know what? Just come here. Come here. Come here. Just going to do that. No, get out. No, no, no. Excuse me, sir. Oh my gosh, I cannot break through your shield. Thank you. But yeah, he's a very interesting and complex character. I do like him, but I really hate his raid, and I never want to ever experience it again in my entire life because I think it's terrible, and I really hope that they go a completely different direction with future raids. Because, yeah, it was infuriating, to say the least. Like, I'm not a fan of the raids that are incredibly mechanic-intensive, and Wrath of the Machine isn't. That's not the reason I actually dislike that raid. I think the only mechanic-intensive one I did like was Vault of Glass. I didn't care for King's Fall either. At least, I didn't care for playing it. I like the set pieces, but I didn't care for playing it personally. Leviathan is very mechanic-intensive and very team-oriented, and I just hate those raids. I'm just not a fan of them, and I know that's the point of raids, but you know what? That doesn't matter to me. I still hate it. It's still not fun for me to play, and that's just that, so... Yeah, and then I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on Leviathan as well. I know a lot of people don't care for it, but then again, I think that part of that reason might just be because people are sick of it, which is totally understandable because it's really all people have had. Unlike Destiny 1, where you had 2 raids within the first year, you have a raid and a half in the first year of Destiny 2, and even then, I mean, I say a half, but the raid layers are just, they do not really hold people's interest for very long. Like, they really don't. They're a single encounter, for crying out loud. That's all they are. So, yeah. That is it for that. Let me just break through all these consoles. Did I really get disrupted by that? Okay, stop! Gosh! Can I hack all these? That's not a console to hack, apparently. Alright. Come on. Oh my gosh, this is so infuriating. This adventure is taking forever. Jeez. Get out of my face. Is there any others? There's one more. Alright, let's get rid of that now. Ay. And then we're going to be done with this episode because this episode went way too long because I tripped over my words forever talking about Callus and also doing this mission very slowly because I have a stupid auto rifle that can't hit anything at long ranges. Alright!
That's all of them. But as much as I want us to get out of here,
let's push our luck!
Recharging their heavy tanks. You know how we feel about tanks.
In fact, I do.
There, I think I did a good job there. Alright, so now... pull those up. Are we done? Oh, we're apparently not done yet. I still gotta kill more things. Right, excuse me, guys. Can y'all, like, leave? Oh, we got one of these guys. Alright, hold on. I have a plan for you. Just a second. Uppercut does so much damage. Get out of here. Woo!
That's our ticket out of here. But there's one more thing we can do while we're here. Remember that big weapon we disabled? With all the clock winding? It's almost back to fully functional.
You two are pushing your luck out there.
Sometimes that's the only way to win, Dev.
She's got a point. Alright, let's sabotage that artillery cannon then. All the way over this direction. And I think all I have to do with this one... Not that console. Wait. Where is it? Is it that thing? That's that thing. Okay. Sweet. We did it. And we're done. Alright, there we go. So I think we just need to head back outside, right? Or is there more to it? Suppose we'll find out. We better just get out of here. So just follow the path back down. Very, very simple. And so you can see, can you see yet why Crimson is such a good weapon? That just carried me through that mission with literally no issues whatsoever. Like, it's so freaking good. I mean, okay, yes, like, it's not a hard mission, but still.
The next time that big cannon tries to fire, it's not going to go well for the Red Legion.
Why wait?
That's a good point. Let's get to a maintenance console and we'll start a firing system.
Okay, we can do that. Let's keep moving. So we need to go over here. Should be pretty easy to get up there from down here. I don't want to go all the way around. So what if I can jump up on this rock? Excuse me, sir. If I can jump up on this rock, I should just be able to make that. There we go. And let's power up the console. Or hack it, excuse me. Ready for explosions.
You two have definitely earned your keep today. Red Legion's gonna be furious.
May I suggest calling it a day, before the entire base comes down on your heads?
Oh, you worry too much, Devrim.
I don't know what's gotten into him. I like it.
Alright, well, I guess we're done with that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Destiny 2. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much. In the next episode, we're going to try to knock out at least 2 adventures, which shouldn't be really all that difficult, as long as I can stop rambling about stuff that I am not the most well-versed in, because honestly, I just hate that raid, guys. I hate that raid. I try to do everything I can to steer clear of it. I want nothing to do with it. Alright, I'm done complaining about it. Thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you all in the next one.